I think that your point comes across as a person should focus on one particular job in order to become efficient. Say you're a pilot.
Yeah.
Don't be the manager of that particular airline. Just be the pilot.
Yes.
You're a manager. Just stick to the managerial position, because then you have the pressure of not simply landing correctly,
Yeah.
which should be the main focus of a piloting job. But now you're thinking about the operations, and that becomes a bit too mentally exhausting.
It's of course there will always be a conflict of interest if you have two roles. If you are, like you said, if you are the owner and the pilot, or owner and the engineer, then there is a cost you are looking at as an owner. But as a technical guy, you are looking at the rectification or the right thing to do. So you are a single person. So there is a fight within yourself, like what to be done. And sometimes if the financial side wins, then you are compromising on the safety standards. So there will always be I think no person can be so balanced to not have a conflict of interest when they are working. Theoretically, we can say we can manage that, but as a human behavior, I think it is really difficult to make a judgment when you have both sides, cost and to be the right thing to be done when it's needed.
Okay. Now, when we talked about just now, you said that a pilot might be better off only doing the piloting and not managing a particular airline, so not being the CEO of the company. But we have a few talks of flying schools that are going to be opened in our country. We have, say, about 2 flying schools that might open in our country in the next few years. But the people who are trying to open up these schools are themselves pilots. Now, do you think that there will also be a conflict of interest in that case?
I don't think so, because I'm talking about not being a manager, because pilot can be a manager, because they are trained, they know, they are much experienced when managing things. But when they are in the position of this, the stakeholder or the shareholder, now they have 2 roles. As a shareholder, what's their demand is having a higher profit. That's always the demand of the shareholders. They want more dividends. But as a professional manager or crew, the demand is to make sure, you fly it safe, you comply on the requirements, and you follow the regulation. So there are 2 sides. Being a stakeholder is the outcome is different, and being a manager or the crew, the demand for the outcome is different.
Okay.
But for the flying school, I think for them, if a flying school, the owner himself is a pilot, he should make sure what are the conflict of interest that might arise. Because I'm not I cannot think of it right now, what can be the conflict of interest in those situations. But they should also think if being a shareholder and the pilot together might arise some conflict of interest or not.